Hello everyone, welcome to another new video on Book Tales by Pritha. Today's video is inspired from a content made by Libro Review, and I'm a huge fan of the YouTuber Achal from the channel Libro Review. I never miss out any of her videos, and recently I saw she making a video on different genres of book. So inspired from that, I have made this video where I have shared my thoughts on the different genre and different types of books, because if you see genre, then it will come down to hardly 10 or 12. That is the maximum number of genres that you can have. But if from genre, if I come down to different subtypes, then in my list there are 25 different types of genre or subgenre in which you can categorize a book into. So without further ado, let's begin today's video. So I will definitely talk about the books that I have read, and again, on all the books that I read majorly in the last 4-5 years, I will talk mostly about them. There may be some which may be collected from the books that I had read in my school or in my childhood days. So the first genre is literary fiction. By literary fiction, we mean that a book that has fictional character, or where the fictional characters are very, very strong, and that has been liked by the reader. So for literary fiction, I will definitely go into Anxious People by Frederick Backman. This particular book has got 8 to 10 characters and one major thing through which all these characters are related. Every character has got a backstory, and that is why each of the character is reacting in a particular manner. That particular manner distinguishes one character from the other. I have a full-fledged video on Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I will put the link in the description down below. Do watch it and do let me know how you like that particular review. Now, the next one is a book of poems. So for this, I will definitely go for one of the poems that I really liked, and that was during my school. I liked this poem called Ulysses. It talks about the Trojan War, and it is one of the best poems till date I have read. That one poem has got so much historical relevance based on the theme of the Trojan War. So if a book you say, then I will definitely go for Ulysses. Recently I had also read books by Pablo Neruda. I will put the picture of the book over here. I don't remember the name, but it was basically based on the theme of love, and again the poems were really something that makes you think, and the words were just amazing. The writing style, everything I liked about that particular book. I don't remember the name exactly, so I'll put the image of the book if I get over here, and also in the description down below. The third one is a play, and again for this I'll go back to my school days. We had read Merchant of Venice, and it was in our English literature syllabus where we had play, and obviously I had read all the writings of Shakespeare. Again, that was part of school syllabus plus personal interest. But if you tell me play, the one play that I always remember is Merchant of Venice, where there was Antonio, Bassanio, Portia, and the tale of cutting the pound of flesh. So if you haven't read Merchant of Venice till now, do read it. I'm sure if you like enjoying and reading plays, then definitely you can enjoy this one. Next book is a book that is based on life's philosophy. Now I have read 3-4 books on this particular theme, but one book that literally touched my heart was Tuesdays with Morrie. This is a go-to book when I feel low. this is a go-to book when uh, I'm not finding answers to something. This is one of the books that literally talks about your life and how important your life is, how you can make it a better one. Now, the next one is a romantic book. I do not much read romance now. I used to read Mills and Boons in school time, in my 8th or ninth standard, but currently, if you ask me, over the last few years, I have not much read books specifically where we can say that this is based on romance genre. But if you tell me like that, then I will definitely go with P.S. I Love You and by Cecilia Ahan. This is one of the books, more than the book, I like the movie, but this was one of the books I really liked. I also liked Jojo Moyes, that particular book, Me Before You. Again, over here also, I like the film more than the book. I found the book little bit more dragging than the film, but these were the two books I liked. If you tell me about the romance genre, actually romance don't exist in our life, so reading about romance I don't enjoy much. So these are the two books that is coming to my mind when we talk about romantic genre. Now I will talk about the next type of book is crime. Under crime, this book is not much talked about, but it is one of the best books on crime that I have read. This book is translated from Bengali. I don't read much Bengali books because Hindi was my second language, but this is one of the books I literally enjoyed. People who have read the Bengali version say that the Bengali version is very good, but I have not read the Bengali version. I read the English version. It is the Lal Bazaar series, Murder in the City, 12 Incredible Case Files of Kolkata Police. Now, this particular book, this is the first book in the series. I do have the second book, also the English version, in my book collection. This talks about 12 crimes that happened in the last 100 years, which were difficult to solve for the Kolkata police, and some of the crimes that they have told is like, it is so interesting, so gripping. Once you start reading the stories, till the time you finish it, you will not feel like keeping. I remember one of the stories which I literally enjoyed. It was something that had happened in 1950s, and at that time forensic had not been invented in India. Now a person head has been smashed, and the Kolkata police detective department people have to find out that the one smashed head that they have found out somewhere, whether it is of the same person whose murder has occurred. Mind it, the time period was 1950s and forensic was not yet invented. So this is just one of the stories. It has got different stories from 1900. I think last 100 years they have told, and it's very, very interesting. And this is one of the books that I literally want to say that if you get a chance to buy a copy, I'm sure if you like crime thrillers, then you will literally enjoy reading this collection. The next type or genre is LGBTQ. I do not much read books based on this topic, but one book that I really liked and also I recommend is Cobalt Blue. This is by an Indian author. They have an adaptation of Cobalt Blue on Netflix. I have not watched it yet, but it is the story of a paying guest who comes to live in a house in Pune. In the first part of the book, the sister talks about her perspective with this paying guest. In the second part of the book, the brother talks about his perspective with this paying guest. And till the time you don't complete reading the book, you will not understand the book. It is one of the best book on this particular topic that I have read, out of the few books on this topic that I have read. The next subgenre is dark books. I recently read a Korean book called The Vegetarian by Hancock, and it is one of the most dark book I have read of late. I'm planning to make a full-fledged video on this, and once I make it, I will put the link of the video in the description down below. The next book is comedy. I do not remember something that was too hilarious I read for a very long time, but when I was young, I used to enjoy Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Tom Sawyer. That was one of the books that I literally enjoyed. I do have this book, I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's over here. This is Three Men in a Boat. I have heard that it is a hilarious book. I have not read it, but those are the books that I would like to put under comedy genre. The next subgenre is horror. I have not read very many horror books, but the ones I read last year, both by Indian authors. One is the book is called Haunted by Jay Alani, and it was Nikhil D'Souza. These people are the people who, if there is a ghost residing in some of the specific locations in remote regions of India which are popularly known, that ghost or whatever, the supernatural beings stay in this particular places, and the government of India has told not to go to these places. These are the people who, through their paranormal instruments, find out whether there is something, a supernatural being is existing there or not. The book was quite interesting. Another book that I read, and I bought both the books together, was Silence of the Hill. Again, this is a collection of short stories based on strange incident that has happened in the hills. The stories were literally interesting. I took my time to read the book and I enjoyed it. So these are the two books that I would like to tell in the horror genre. The next genre is mystery. Now, under mystery, how can I forget books by Sherlock Holmes? It is one of the best mystery books I have read, and if you want to read something easier, then in that case I would definitely recommend the books by Agatha Christie. Now, I remember these two as the top priority books that would come under mystery recommendation. The next genre is autobiography. Now, my favorite book is The Princess Remembers. I have a full-fledged video review of this particular book. This I will put the link in the description down below. Do check it out. This book talks about the life of Maharani Gayatri Devi. I'm an ardent admirer of this woman, her beauty, her grace, her intelligence, and so I had picked up this book without any hope and expectation. I had just picked up because I liked the book cover, but seriously I enjoyed reading it. The next one is young adult. I do not read much of the young adult, but I had read The Fault in Your Stars during the lockdown. I enjoyed the book, and that is the only book that comes into my mind when there is something to recommend under young adult genre or next type. Subgenre is contemporary fiction or thriller, and for this I think this is a perfect book for this category, and the book is Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. the way the author has spoken about the publishing industry in this particular book, the way she has told about the impact of social media worldwide in the younger generation is so well told and narrated. I have again a full-fledged video on this book as well. I'll put the link in the description down below and somewhere over here as well. Do check it out if you haven't, and do read this book because I feel that you will seriously enjoy it. The next subgenre that I would like to talk is dystopia. Not many books I have read on dystopia, but I will talk about 3 books. All the 3 are bestsellers. I think most of you who are readers have read this book. I literally enjoyed reading this book, and these books were 1984 by George Orwell, Animal Farm by George Orwell, and Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I seriously enjoyed them, and as a reader I am telling, if you haven't read it, do read it out. I'm sure you will enjoy it. The next subgenre that I would like to talk is Indian mythology. Now, Indian mythology is a genre that has become immensely popular in the Indian literary world, and so I thought to put it in this video. For this, I will definitely put Fisher Queen's Dynasty by Kavita Kane. I have read 2-3 books by Kavita Kane, but this is one of the books that I liked, I enjoyed. Another book that suddenly came into my mind while making this content is Liberation of Sita by Volga. This is another book that if you haven't read, do check it out. I'm sure you will enjoy it if you like to read Indian mythological books. Classics. Now, classics I don't read much nowadays. I used to read when I was 10, 12, 15. After that, I have stopped reading classics. Again, for this, nothing is better or comes to my mind other than Pride and Prejudice. Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth are my all-time favorite character, unlike many of you. Children's book. Children's book are the books that are nostalgia. So for children's book, I will definitely like to talk about Dracula by Bram Stoker. I enjoyed it. I don't know your case, I literally enjoyed it. I enjoyed Arabian Nights, and also I used to enjoy fairy tales. The next category is historical fiction. Now, this is one of the category I literally like reading, and over here I will talk about 2 books again. Here I will talk about Indian history because we should recommend, I think, being an Indian, I should recommend books by Indian author. There is one book called The 20th Wife. I think it belongs to the Taj trilogy. It talks about Noor Jahan, the 20th wife of Emperor Jahangir. It talks about her life. I have other books on Noor Jahan, but I really like this particular version, The 20th Wife. I do have a review on this book, I believe. I will put the link in the description down below. Another book, it's an historical fiction. It is The Palace of Illusion by Chitra Banerjee. This book is based on the character of Draupadi, who was the wife of the 5 Pandav princes, and an historical fictional tale has been created by the author, and the book is literally unputdownable. So I will put these 2 books under historical fiction. The next type is a book based on travel. For this, there is no second thought. I will put Eat, Pray, Love. I recently read it in the beginning of this particular year, and trust me, it's a book you must read. Books about places. For this, I will put again a book by Indian author. This is a book based on Bombay. It is a collection of short stories, and the book is No Presents Please by Jayant Kriplani. Amazing book, amazing. If you haven't read it, do check it out. If you have been staying in Mumbai or Maharashtra, then I'm sure you will find, to some extent, somewhere down the line, some one or two story or the backdrop of the story to be very, very relatable. Okay, now I will talk about another subtype or topic, that is books on environment. See, Amitav Ghosh is one of the authors who is currently writing books on environment, but I read Latitude of Longings, I think during the lockdown, and it is one of the best books that has spoken about environment in a very, very, very nice manner. Next, there is a topic, books on women. Now, I don't know whether, okay, I'll not talk about that book. I'll talk about erotic stories for Punjabi widows by Bali Kaul Jaiswal. That is one of the books that has spoken so sarcastically about women, thought process of Punjabi women staying in UK. It is one of the brilliant books, and you know the book is unputdownable. I completed reading it in 2 days. Do check it out if you haven't read it. Okay, I was editing the content and suddenly I saw that one question I had missed out, that was books on politics. Frankly speaking, I have not read enough books on politics or political aspect, or where politics is the main genre. So over here I will not specify any books in this category. Question number 24 is graphic novels. Again, I have read only one graphic novel which I seriously enjoyed, that is Persepolis. I want to read Mouse for a very long time. That is one of the books that I want to get it in my collection. So Persepolis as of now for graphic novel. And the last type or subgenre of books, that is short story collection. For short story collection, I would like to, if you are a avid reader, then do check out Dubliners by what was the name of the author? I forgot. Okay, I'll put the image of the book over here. That is, Dubliners is seriously one of the books that can make you think, even at this age, while reading the book. After reading, again, it is a collection of short stories about people living in Dublin, the city of Dublin, and I was enjoying it, and so that comes under short story collection. If you liked watching this video, then do hit the like button. Do put your comments on this video. Would you like to watch more this kind of question answers video? That also you need to put it in the comment section down below. And to watch similar videos, you must subscribe to Book Tales by Pritha. I will come back soon with another video. Till then, have a great day ahead.